Yo, so we got one of my best closest friends. We got Tone. Introduce yourself.
What's going on? My name is Antonio, man. I'm a personal trainer, overseas basketball player, a professional and everything.
Yeah, so we already began dreaming. This episode's on survival remorse. Check it out for us, man. Yeah, so the first question we gonna go into is, what is survivor's remorse and how has it affected your life?
I could say it affected my life by just keep going forward. For example, I could say my homies that passed away. I'm not gonna go specific in names, but just being in those situations, knowing I can be very emotional, very upsetting, and put my emotions of just anger. But I had to realize, like, once I got out all that emotions, I had to think to myself, like, this ain't what my homie want me to do.
Okay.
This something that is just bigger than just me. It's something that can be able to affect the people in my life or the next generation. So it was mostly like a suck up moment where I had to be like, I know my homies passed away. I know this feeling ain't this and this and that, but he gonna want me to continue my journey. And that's what I did. I continued my journey. I was lost in it. I was lost in my journey. I didn't know where to go, but I started finding around people. And the more I started surrounding myself around positive people, I continued that journey. And I know my homies was watching over me from above. So I feel like that's how I really overcame it. And that's how my survival remorse really came upon.
So like, I like that, and I like the way you explained it because it gives like people an in-depth view of like how life is for us, like growing up here.
Fact.
Like we became like great friends, and we met in college, but like we played against each other in games and stuff before that.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of people that we grew up with who don't make it to the positions or get the chances that we got. Not necessarily because they did or in jail. It's sometimes because they didn't have the same circumstances. They didn't have the same people supporting them.
Yeah.
And sometimes we look back and we be like, hey, I wish this person was in this position as me. But this person got to work because their mother's sick. Or this person got to work because their father, their mother dead or on drugs or whatever the case may be. And I think like that's a big thing of survivor's remorse plays a role into it.
But I feel like everything is a blessing to it. You just gotta seek it as a blessing. I feel like if you seek it as a blessing where this didn't happen for you even though you want it, thank God already. Thank you, because you don't know how that's gonna happen, man. Knock on wood, you feel me? But ACL injuries is a lot of sprain shit. I'm not wishing that upon you, but that situation can be able to happen if you kept that going. But the fact that you're there in another situation, be thankful for it because it's another blessing. God will never steer you in the wrong way, for sure.
Okay. So like, us both like growing up in Chicago, like
Yeah.
probably different neighborhoods. Like you said you grew up in Garfield, I grew up in Wicker Park,
Yeah.
like two different sides. But I think like the biggest thing that a lot of people don't understand is that we all grow up here. Like I grew up in a lower income house, so like a lot of my friends were black people who didn't live in the same neighborhood, and you go play basketball with some of your friends and the next week they're not there, or the next week they can't be there because they dead or in jail or whatever the case may be. But that's the biggest hurdle. So like I think for me, a lot of times in my life, being a person who's been able to make it to a lot of different places, like living in England for a couple years, it was truly a blessing. But like you always think about the people who wasn't there. So like a couple times, like when I was there, my uncles was passing away, my grandfather. So I started to eat away my emotions, and I think a lot of people like here and like looking at different situations. This is just an observation. I'm not telling anybody what their life is like, but it's a lot of people I see here who drink and smoke out of their emotions, having a bad day or whatever the case may be. And I can say what happened to me, and I'm like amazed by like all the things that you've done. Like you've been a professional player. Could you speak on that a little bit, like to give people like a positive outlook in this episode as well?
For one, you can seek positivity in so many things. Even where some people may think it's negative, it can actually be a positive. And for me, being overseas, I could say personally, once I accomplished it, it was like, okay, what's next? But to accomplish that and like put a pat on your back on that is a huge thing, bro. As soon as I got in there, I had to learn this, I had to learn that. It was mostly coding for plays or a cut where it's a code, and I was lost in that. Of course, a couple of games I didn't play, and I had less of a minutes, but that's the growth of being a professional. You got to be able to accept being the little man at the moment in order to be the big man. Because at the same time, this is a whole different region. It's a whole different community. This is national. So you known for local stuff. So now you got to be able to be a little man, be able to play the detailed parts of what role they got you playing to be able to be that big man. And I feel like a lot of people disregard that and get the misunderstanding of that concept of a professional basketball player. Because I can speak for one, Chicago legend, Pat Bev, Marshall. We both out west. We've been around out west. Man was averaging how much? Man, he was a threat. Where's that in the NBA? And people say he's not a hooper. That man had to change his role. That's the part of being a professional and being a hooper. You could be a hooper and be in this same little area and all that, but being a professional, you got to be able to be humble, be able to take your role and exceed it to the highest level.
Okay. So as two young men who have been afforded like opportunities, I feel like in my experience that there's been people a lot more talented than me that didn't have the chances that I had because not because they wasn't talented enough.
Right.
It's because they didn't, for whatever the opportunity or whatever it was, the attitude or the way they studied or all of those things. And sometimes we look at people who we love in our lives and we wish they had the chance to experience some of the things that we did. So going back into like the survivor's remorse of it, like, it doesn't necessarily just mean that someone dies or whatever it is.
Right.
Like, do you ever feel a sense of guilt or a sense of shame that some people weren't ever able to make it to play collegiate and professional that you grew up with?
I feel like I shouldn't. Whatever you do, you go full throttle into it, man. Whatever you do, you understand the full aspect of it. Everything from outside the box to inside the box, you gotta accept it. There's no regrets of what you do. Whatever you do, you man up on it. And that's what I had to do. Was that the best decision that I could have made? Probably not. But I made that decision. But once I made that decision, I can't forfeit it. I can't leave it alone and lead others to thinking I'm doing this and I don't. You gotta finish the job. Whatever you do, you have to finish your job. Maybe you don't want to do it or not. You gotta find something that's really mentally in your head to keep yourself going. Even if that's waking up Bible verses, waking up watching YouTube motivational stuff. Whatever you do, you have to fulfill that. Because at the same time, if you break bridges, you can't cross back. So, same as we said in the beginning, that emotional part. People get real emotional and break down and don't want to complete the things that they achieve. You have to fight that mental. And you know, as a black man, we feel those mentals and we get broke down from the mentals and we become emotional even though we think it's not. We got to be able to overcome them things because at the same time, we might cross a bridge and don't even know we got to go back to go do it.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I love your opinion on it. I think that experiences of being around things that don't have the resources that everybody has in certain communities, where their lives have been plentiful or bountiful, from Garfield Park to Carbondale, Illinois, to whatever,
Right.
to a lot of the small cities in Illinois. I think a lot of people really want to make it,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that the choice is like understanding that what you want is the value of time. It's the value of the time and experiences that you have in life. And I think regret creeps in and remorse creeps in when you don't value things, whether that's loved ones or experiences that you have in life.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like that's a really great experience, and I
Yeah.
mean a really great opinion on that. So let's dive into the next thing. So like the next question is like, how has survivor's remorse affected your community or people that's around your surrounding areas?
Um, I feel like it's a grudge that's hold on many. A grudge that people really can't let go. Um, Especially with high emotions. It's something that you never expected to happen, and once it happened, a lot of people don't know how to take that in at the moment. Um, some may use things to keep them calm. Some may do things to rile them up, but it's harsh moments, and at the moments it's hard to let things go because a person, thing may be very important to you in life, and you don't know how to really be able to keep life moving without it. So I feel like it's a big role. I feel like you have to really be deep into your emotions and be able to have control in that. To be able to have a person to talk to,
Yeah,
everybody need a person to talk to.
for sure.
Someone you can trust, someone you can be able to rely on, someone that brought smiles to you previously in your life.
Yeah,
And I feel like that's the way to be able to heal from certain things.
yeah. Um, I truly yes, that's a great opinion
Yeah.
and a great sentiment that you just said. I think like a lot of people, especially like fight in Chicago. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people fighting a war for people who aren't here. Um, like in my lifetime or in my life, I would say that um, I've never been connected to anything, but I can say that no, I know various
Connected
people
like what?
connected to issues that go on in certain communities and certain things where you can't even say rest in peace to a friend or a family member or someone else without someone disrespecting you or thinking that you're supposed to choose a side
Right.
when we're all on the side of moving forward. Um, I feel the pain of at times of not being able to say rest in peace to a friend who's from a different neighborhood because my other friends will disappear, disrespect maybe, um, But I think the biggest thing is just to move forward, and that I think like life is bountiful, especially with the resources that we would drive towards to help these people. Um, so yeah, yeah. So like yeah, your opinion is amazing and really, really amazing.
Appreciate
So
you.
yeah, so like as we close out, like, do you have anything to say to like the elderly, the middle aged, the young adults, the kids, the
Um,
teenagers, whomever?
One thing I can say, um, that could be for anybody, is just you are perfect in your eyes. Um, Not saying like everybody's perfect and all that, but who you are is who you are, and accept who you are. If you feel like there's something that you need to work on, accept things of what comes to you. Like if people come to you and you say this and this and that, be humble enough to accept it. Not saying you got to change your personality because they said it, but be able to accept what words come to you. Words sometimes harsh. Some people don't know how to be able to put words in a positive way. But use those things to be able to reflect off, see where you at in life, and still be accepting of yourself. Like you are you. If anybody can accept who you are, you don't need them. Because if somebody accept who you are, they see things for you in the better, see things for you in the future, and want to be able to help you. One thing also, always ask questions. In life, don't nobody know everything. And for you, in order to know so many things and possibly everything, ask questions. There's no wrong in questions. There's no wrong in the answer no. And there's always positivity in their words as yes. Like, take no and still go further on into seeing other things. I messed up. Started over.
So, as we wrap up this episode, I want you to give your final thoughts, just for everybody, not just kids, adults, and whoever. Just go ahead and give it.
I can say one thing is be yourself. Be accepting of who you are, and know that you won't always be better. Always ask questions. Questions is the best thing in life because you'll be able to get understanding of many things, many situations, and all that. Don't be afraid of the answer no. When you hear no, that sounds very aggressive, but be willing to accept that because at the end of the day, somebody will say yes. So always be alert to ask questions, thoughts, listen, be able to comprehend with things, and that's how you'll be able to find your way through life. For sure.
Exactly. Love yourself, heal yourself, and already begin dreaming. Thank you, Tom, man. We appreciate you for being on the episode, man. Love, Brody.
Man. Yes, sir.